Hey, I was thinking, and so I wanted to come on here and share my thoughts with you. When I was on here the last time, I was so excited to get back to inspiring, encouraging, giving people hope, all the good stuff, all the good feels. But this world, this country, it makes it seem as though hope is fleeting. We have some evil people in power. The leaders of this country, the administration, they're so incompetent, yet so evil. And so it affects all those who are not them. If you're not white, if you're not rich, then you are affected, whether you know it or not. Last week we voted here in Cleveland, or Ohio, I guess I should say. And the numbers came out about the percentage of people that voted, and it was dismal. I think Cleveland was 16%, and the surrounding suburbs were low as well. And I'm just thinking, like, how do we get that number up? Now, mind you, the number is up because I remember we used to be 13 for a primary. So we went up 3. But do people not understand the seriousness of this time? This time in America, do they not understand? We just had the Voting Rights Act gutted. They're trying to make it so difficult. And when I hear people say they don't vote because their vote doesn't matter, it doesn't. Not if you don't vote. But you can try to make a difference by sharing your voice, by going to the ballot box and putting in your ballot. Yesterday, I was on an emergency call with Win with Black Women. I've been with them ever since Vice President Harris was nominated for presidency. And they're doing some wonderful, wonderful things. And it's some dynamic women who are out there making a difference in this world. And you know, it's a lot of us there who are supporting however we can, right? But I realized that I have to do more. I have to do more because, you know, when you look in the history books and you see the pictures, the March on Selma, you see Dr. Martin Luther King and others who are there in the fight. Never did I think that we would be back in those times or even before. Yet here we are. And so there's things that need to change. And the only way that it can be changed is by voting. We have to get busy encouraging those who don't think it matters. We have to talk to them to let them know that these times aren't like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. We are going way back into those 1900s. And so we have to do what we can to make a difference. Yesterday on the call, Vice President Harris talked about things we needed to do. And she was saying how when she was talking, I think it was Andrew Young that had told her, like, the old playbook that we used to do is not going to work. Like, these are different people. These are evil. Not that they weren't evil before, but these are worse. Because if you saw where Stephen Miller had studied how Black women made a difference in changing the world. And so he's doing everything to be able to silence Black women and to make them, well, make us not as powerful as we know we are. And that's what I love about Black Win with Black Women, because you cannot win without us. You cannot. But this is what she said. I'm talking about Kamala Harris yesterday on the call. She said we need to expand that playbook that we had. She invited us to come up with all ideas and brainstorm to try to figure out what can we do to ensure that our voices are heard, to change the trajectory of this country. Because where it is right now, the way it's spiraling downward is not going to work for anybody unless you're white and rich. Okay? She talked about the Electoral College, how we need to get rid of that. But we can't get rid of it if we don't have voices that will be heard. If we don't have the Senate, the House, if we don't have the governors in our own personal states, and, if we don't have people who represent us, it's not going to work. She talked about how the Supreme Court need to be reformed. They definitely need to expand that because it has become political. We see that. We've known it for a while, but they don't even care anymore. So that needs to be reformed. She talked about having multi-member districts, having a committee, a Senate Judiciary Committee, that have rules in place for people who are nominated to the Supreme Court, because a lot of them get on there and lie and say, no, I won't touch the Voting Rights Act. And then as soon as they get in, they do. No, I won't touch abortion, gay marriages. And then as soon as they get in there, they do. Like, there needs to be somebody to hold them accountable and have consequences for those who lie to the Senate Judiciary Committee. She talked about having a statehood for DC and Puerto Rico. Like, why don't we? Why are their voices not being heard? Why don't they matter? We know why. The blue states definitely need to expand the maps because we see what the red states are doing. We just have to be as ruthless as they are, but ethical. That's the difference between the Democrats of today and Republicans, is that we try to do things in the right way. And we can do things in the right way and still fight and win. And it starts with each one of us recognizing the power that we have, the power of that one vote, because my vote is just as equal as some rich white man's. So I'm going to use my vote to try to make this world a better place. And we need to get out there and encourage other people to do the same, especially these young people, because I know growing up, I don't have children, but I have nieces and nephews and cousins and other family members and friends' kids who I was hoping for a better future for them. And that is not what we're getting. We are not getting that. I am grateful for the fact that I grew up in the time that I did, because I do believe that it was the best time. I was the first generation that grew up or was born with all my rights. And yet now they're trying to strip them away. We have to do better for ourselves, for our kids, for this country, for this world. It's just amazing when you watch other news, like over the BBC News. We are a joke. Canada, we're a joke. Because somehow we let this man back in office. And these people who are so racist, for whatever reason, is it because of their fear, because of their insecurities, whatever it is that racism exists as it does, I don't get it. But the fact that people just follow along with whatever they say. I heard something where all of Trump's approval ratings are either in the high 20s or low 30s for everything across the board. Yet 85% of Republicans will still vote for this man. They still support him. You know why? Because they don't think for themselves. One of the things, I've been traveling, and when I travel, I listen to my master class. Somebody bought me master class for Christmas, and it was so cool that I've learned a lot. And in learning, how to DJ, but also learning how to think critically. Neil deGrasse Tyson has a class on that, and he's been amazing. And one of the things that he said is that people don't think for themselves. They like other people to think for them, and they just follow. And that's what we're seeing right now. So we have to do better. So I want you to get on board so that you can affect change, get people out there to vote. And I know I'm going to be talking about this even more, but I'm going to end right there because I got to go. All right. Bye.